Ladies and gentlemen, J. Gordon McInnes, Sharp Stories, episode 310. Today's topic, Ken Sim tells everyone else, you guys build the social housing, I'm pausing the builds. It's over. Finally, we see eye to eye on something, Mr. Sim. And your 5 minutes starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, so in this context, what we're talking about, supportive housing. What does this mean? Permanent housing with 24-hour on-site support for homeless people, severe mental health problems, and substance abuse problems, drug addicts. So that's what we're talking about here. Ken Sim wants to pause new supportive housing projects, and the BC Housing Minister, Ravi Kahlon, urges the council to reject said motion. So what's going on here? A municipal report has just come out highlighting that they want to shift responsibility away from Vancouver and into surrounding suburbs. Specifically, Burnaby and Surrey are highlighted in this Vancouver Sun article that we're going through today. I forgot to put my timer on, Jesus Christ, 10:70. Wanting those other neighborhoods to take more of their fair share. So, city's deputy ministers want to relocate a larger share of what's already been worked out where housing is going to be built. Now, they're saying they need 3,915 new supporting housing units across the region. Burnaby's target has been suggested to be bumped from 278 units all the way up to 600. Surrey's target from 603 to 800, and they have approved that number. So a total outside of Vancouver going from 881 units up to 1,400 is the proposal. But how do they decide what goes where? Why should they decide what goes where? So I guess there's a few options. There's how do we distribute these builds? In addition to where the provincial government is layering funding, which is another big part of this. Do we do it by population? Do we do it by real estate prices? The NIMBY approach, which I personally love, but most people are going to disagree with that, or of course, population. So let's look into that. As of 2025, I mean forever, not 2025 for this, but Surrey is 316 square kilometers in size, Vancouver is 114, and Burnaby is 98. Surrey has 696,000 people, Vancouver has 697, Burnaby has 261. So Sim's proposal is to halt contribution of land and funding for new supportive housing projects, excluding replacement of existing and aging single-family room occupancy buildings, temporary modular housing, or projects already approved for the vulnerable groups of the city's senior, youth, aging out of foster care, women, and families. So everything other than single males. As of 2023, Vancouver has 77% of Metro Vancouver's regional supportive housing units, which is 8,150. So why are they getting 77%, and why is this not distributed? When you break this down, obviously it's a big question mark in my opinion. Sim says a more balanced regional approach to supportive housing would allow individuals experiencing homelessness to access stable housing in their own communities, closer to families, cultural connections, and local services, rather than being displaced out here to Vancouver. Makes sense. Ravi Kahlon, housing minister, says that cities' numbers do not match the numbers they have at the province regarding what the city of Vancouver has. Okay. Since 2017, over 50% of new supportive housing, he said, has been placed outside of Vancouver. Kahlon urges councillors to reject this motion. Kahlon says what he finds challenging is that the discussion is painting people as the problem, not the lack of housing as the problem. Obviously, being in an NDP, stigma comes to mind very quickly, and people are obviously the problem that need to get dealt with by way of more housing. So a little standard turnaround there, which isn't surprising. Anyway, we'll leave that at that. We're not drawing any political lines here, people. We're just riding the fence on what's going on. I'm agnostic, Al, that's what they say, I think. Surrey, North Vancouver, and Richmond expressed support of housing-related frustrations strictly due to delays in funding from the province. And Sim has also asked the province for more money with regards. So it's a big filtration process, as usual. You pay your taxes, they filter that in with a whole bunch of debt, pass it down to the provinces, and then these things apparently get built if they're approved. Critics say that a pause of the program would just worsen the homelessness problem in Vancouver, which already faces a significant shortage of beds. So, of course, a pause is going to prolong people from getting beds, but the problem here is that we don't want the beds here at mass. We want them distributed. So I feel that a pause and a reshuffle of responsibility is very welcome to the situation. In closing, the city's website says that since 2019, about 1,500 social and supportive housing units have gone to Vancouver, and there are 1,700 more units under construction. What's that, 3,200 units in total, while Surrey, since 2022, now has 403 units, and Burnaby, as of 2025, has 200 units. So it seems just a little bit unfair and absolutely ridiculous. What do you think? Should they be distributed, or should Vancouver just get hit, slapped in the face with all these social housing units? Put it beside a school. We talked about that this year. Put it in sensitive areas. We talked about that. God forbid a NIMBY attitude comes to light here, but just gotta wonder, why such a dramatic difference? See you in the comments.